This is an audio-visual presentation on polygons. A polygon is a closed plane figure bounded by line segments. Now these are examples of a polygon. We have a quadrilateral, and a quadrilateral is a four-sided figure, so we have four sides. We also have a pentagon. A pentagon is a five-sided figure, and so we have five sides as shown. A hexagon is a six-sided figure. These are examples of a polygon. These are some examples of a polygon. Now, when the number of sides equals 3, then it means that we have a triangle, because a triangle has 3 sides. When the number of sides equals 4, it means that that polygon is called a quadrilateral. When the number of sides equals 5, it's called a pentagon. When the number of sides equals 6, the polygon is called a hexagon. When the number of sides equals 7, it is called a heptagon. When the number of sides of the polygon equals 8, we call it an octagon. When the number of sides equals 9, we call it a nonagon. And when the number of sides equals 10, we call it a decagon. And it continues. Now, interior and exterior angles. Interior angles are angles that are inside the closed plane figure, but the exterior angles are angles that are outside the closed plane figure. And so when we consider this diagram as shown, the interior angles are H, K, L, M, N, and P. These are the angles inside the closed plane figure, and so these are interior angles. And the exterior angles are A, B, C, D, E, and F. These are exterior angles because they are outside the exterior, they are outside the closed plane figure, and that is why they are called exterior angles. So the exterior angles are A, B, C, D, E, and F, and the interior angles are H, K, L, M, N, and P. Take note that the interior angles are the angles inside the closed plane figure, but the exterior angles are the angles outside the closed plane figure. Now let's look at the sum of the interior angle of a polygon. The sum of the interior angle of a polygon is given by n minus 2 times 180. This is the relation we use in finding the sum of the interior angle of a polygon, where the n is the number of sides. Now, each interior angle of a regular polygon is given by n minus 2 times 180 degrees, all divided by n. Now, the sum of the interior angle of a polygon is given by n minus 2 times 180 degrees. This will give you the sum of the interior angle. However, if you want to know each interior angle, then it means that you have to divide the sum by the number of sides. If you want each interior angle, then you have to divide the sum of the interior angle by the number of sides n, and that will give you the angle for each. That will give you the angle for each. Now, let's consider this table. We have the polygon, the number of sides, and we have the sum of the interior angle. Take note that the relation we use in calculating the sum of the interior angle is n minus 2 times 180, where the n is the number of sides. Now, we have a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides, so n equals 3. Now, when n equals 3, it means that wherever we see n in the relation n minus 2 times 180, we substitute 3. So we have 3 minus 2 times 180, and 3 minus 2 equals 1. And 1 times 180 degrees equals 180 degrees. This means that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Now, for a quadrilateral, that is a four-sided figure. The number of sides is 4. So we have 4 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 4 minus 2 equals 2. 2 times 180 degrees equals 360 degrees. Now, for a pentagon, the number of sides is 5. So we have 5 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180 degrees equals 540 degrees. Now, when we consider a hexagon has 6 sides. And so we have 6 minus 2 times 180 degrees. 6 minus 2 equals 4. And 4 times 180 degrees equals 720 degrees. A heptagon has 7 sides. And so with the sum we have 7 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 7 minus 2 equals 5. And 5 times 180 degrees equals 900 degrees. Now with the octagon, an octagon has 8 sides. It means that n is equal to 8. And therefore by substitution, we have 8 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 8 minus 2 is 6. And 6 times 180 degrees will give us 1080. That is 1080 degrees. Now, example. Find the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon with a number of sides 15. Hence, determine the size of each interior angle. So from this question, we are given the number of sides of the regular polygon. Now, a regular polygon is a polygon with equal size of angles. All the angles are equal. So with a regular polygon, all the angles are equal. Now, we have to find the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon with a number of sides n. So the number of sides has been given to be 15. Now, let's look at how we can find the sum and each interior angle. Solution. The sum of interior angles of a polygon is given by n minus 2 times 180 degrees. From the question, the number of sides has been given to be 15. And therefore, the required sum will be equal to 15 minus 2 times 180. This means that wherever you see n, you substitute 15. And that is what we have done. So we have 15 minus 2 times 180 degrees. And 15 minus 2 equals 13. So we have 13 times 180 degrees. And 13 times 180 degrees is equal to 2,340 degrees. Now, if you want to know the size of each interior angle, then you have to divide the sum we have gotten by the number of sides. And so 2,340 divided by 15 is equal to 156 degrees. Is equal to 156 degrees. Now we have sum of exterior angle of a polygon. Sum of exterior angle of a polygon. For any number of sides of a polygon, the sum of the exterior angle is always 360 degrees. Take note that I said that exterior angles are angles outside the closed plane figure. And so for any number of sides of a polygon, the sum of the exterior angle is always 360 degrees. If you want to know each exterior angle of a polygon, then you have to divide the sum, that is 360, by the number of sides n. So each exterior angle of a polygon, a regular polygon, is equal to 360 divided by n. Now let's look at this problem. Example. Find the number of sides of the regular polygon with interior angle of 135. Take note, this is a regular polygon. It means that all the interior angles are equal. It means that all the interior angles are equal. And we are given the interior angle to be 135. And we have to find the number of sides. We have to find the number of sides. Now, solution. Since each interior angle, from the question, we were given each interior angle to be 135. That means that it follows that each exterior angle is 180 minus 135 degrees. This is because the exterior angle is adjacent to the interior angle. And we know that the sum of the angles on a straight line will give us 180 degrees. Also, the sum of an adjacent angle to an angle is equal to 180. So if the interior angle has been given to be 135, then it means that if you want the exterior angle, it will be 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. And this is equal to 45 degrees. So it means that each exterior angle is now 45 degrees. Now the sum of the exterior angle of a polygon is equal to 360. Is equal to 360. So when you multiply the number of sides by each exterior angle, that is 45 degrees, then you have to get 360. We are solving for n, that's the number of sides. So we divide the left hand side by 45 degrees and we divide the right hand side by 45 degrees. And so we will have n equals 360 degrees divided by 45 degrees, and the result is 8. Hence, the number of sides of the regular polygon is 8. Hence, the number of sides of the regular polygon is 8. Now, alternative approach. Let's look at an alternative approach of solving the same problem. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is given by n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. That is the formula we use in calculating each interior angle of a regular polygon. Now, from the question, we were given each interior angle of the regular polygon to be 135. That means that we can equate 135 to the relation n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. And that is how come we have n minus 2 into bracket times 180 all divided by n is equal to 135 degrees. Take note that we are solving for n, that's the number of sides. So we need to simplify this by cross multiplying. We have to cross multiply. That is n multiplies 135, and this is equal to n minus 2 times 180. So we have 180 into bracket n minus 2 is equal to 135 times n. That is after cross multiplication. Now we expand the left hand side. So 180 times n is 180n. 180 times minus 2 is minus 360, and this is equal to 135n. Now because we are solving for n, we group the terms with the variable n on the left hand side and we group the constant on the right hand side. And so 135n on the right hand side becomes minus 135n on the left hand side, and minus 360 becomes positive 360 on the right hand side, and 180n minus 135n will give us 45n on the left hand side, and this is equal to 360 on the right hand side. Don't forget that we are solving for the number of sides, that is n. So we divide the left hand side by 45 and divide the right hand side by 45. In dividing the left hand side by 45, we are left with n, and in dividing the right hand side by 45, we have 360 divided by 45, and that will give us 8. This means that the number of sides equals 8. This means that the number of sides equals 8. And you can see that it is the same answer as we had when we used the alternative number 1. Now let's look at this example. Find the value of x in each of the following. Considering this diagram in A, this is a 5-sided figure, and so it's called a pentagon. We have one side, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-sided figure. It means that n equals 5, and therefore this is a pentagon. We have to find the value of x in each of the following. Now this is A. Now we consider the diagram in B. This is the diagram we are given in B. We have interior angles, that are angles within the closed plane figure. The angles are 140 degrees and 144 degrees. And we also have exterior angles. These are angles outside the closed plane figure. And so we have 2x, 3x, 80, and x to be exterior angles. Now let's look at how best we can solve these problems. Solution. With a problem in A, we were given a pentagon, and the pentagon has 5 sides. That means that n is equal to 5. The sum of the interior angles is equal to n minus 2 times 180. And because n equals 5, it means we have 5 minus 2 times 180. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have 3 times 180, and 3 times 180 equals 540 degrees. So this is the sum of the interior angles of the pentagon. The sum is 540 degrees. And so when we add all the interior angles, we have to equate it to 540 degrees, because the sum of the interior angles of the pentagon give us 540 degrees. And these were the interior angles in the pentagon: x, 2x, 4x, 5x, and 6x. So when we add all on the left hand side, we have to equate it to 540 degrees. And so x plus 2x is 3x. 3x plus 4x is 7x. And 7x plus 5x is 12x. 12x plus 6x will give us 18x. That is when you add x to 2x to 4x to 5x plus 6x. The result is 18x on the left hand side, and this is equal to 540 degrees. Remember that we are solving for x, so we divide the left hand side by 18, and we divide the right hand side also by 18. When we divide the left hand side by 18, we are left with x, and when we divide the right hand side by 18, we are left with 30 degrees. This means that the value of x is equal to 30 degrees from the diagram in A, that is the pentagon. Now when we consider the diagram in B, we were given only two interior angles, that is 140 degrees and 144 degrees. Now let the interior angles left be A, B, C, and D. Now with A, how do we find A? We can see that when we consider this straight line, A is adjacent to 3x. And we know that when we add angle A to its adjacent angle, the result is 180. And therefore, if you want A, it's a matter of subtracting 3x from 180, and that will give you the value of A. And that is how come A equals 180 minus 3x. That means that A is equal to 180 minus 3x. B, the adjacent angle to B is 2x. That means that B will be equal to 180 minus 2x. The adjacent angle to C is x. So C will be 180 minus x. And the adjacent angle to D is 80. That means that D will be 180 minus 80. And that is equal to 100. Now we know the interior angles. Now A is 180 minus x. B is 180 minus 2x. C is 180 minus x. And D is now 100. Now let's proceed. The sum of interior angles of a hexagon is equal to 720. Take note that a hexagon is a six-sided figure. That means that n is equal to 6. And so using the relation, the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon is equal to 720. I give this to you as an exercise for you to calculate the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon and see truly that it's equal to 720 degrees. Now, we now add the sum of all the interior angles, and the interior angles of that closed plane figure is 144 plus 140 plus A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 720 degrees. Is equal to 720 degrees. Now A gave us 180 minus 3x. B gave us 180 minus 2x. C gave us 180 minus x, and D gave us 100. And so 144 plus 140 plus 180 plus 180 plus 180 plus 100 is equal to 924. Minus 3x minus 2x is minus 5x, and minus 5x minus x will give us minus 6x, and this is equal to 720 degrees. Now we have minus 6x on the left hand side, but 924 on the left hand side becomes minus 924 on the right hand side, and 720 minus 924 is equal to minus 204. Take note that we are solving for x, so we divide the left hand side by minus 6, and we divide the right hand side by minus 6. When we divide the left hand side by minus 6, we have x, and when we divide the right hand side by minus 6, we have minus 204 divided by minus 6, and the result is 34 degrees. This means that the value of x is equal to 34 degrees. This means that the value of x equals 34 degrees. This is the end of our presentation on polygons.